We have a special guest with us today.
Thank you.
One of the originals in Disney streaming, a legend in his own right. Would you like to say hi?
That's quite the introduction. Hello.
We got Ducks of the Caribbean in the house today, guys. We're going to be doing a little Quack chat session. Everyone's like, Sean! Everyone's all excited. I love it. We're going to be doing a little Quack chat in the style of Quack Pack that we've been doing.
Love it.
Just very recently, we've ended up sitting down with people and just talking Disney.
Very cool.
Talking anything really, per se.
I like the shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
Very nice. Stitch Day.
Stitch Day. It's coming up, 626, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah.
626, so I've heard.
Man, the year's going by way too fast.
It really is. We're halfway through June.
It's scary.
And let's get this out of the way. We got our pickles, and I'm going to do what we like to do. We put it in dual cam.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. We got Disney streaming legend Ducks of the Caribbean here today. It's so great to finally be able to sit down with you, my friend.
Great to see you. Yeah. I know I saw you briefly 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. You walked by.
Yeah.
You tapped high. I was like, oh my gosh. I was so excited. I was like, it's him. It's him. He tapped. I'm never washing my shoulder again. All right, let's get a little cheers going on with the pickle lemonade. Bonk. Now, do you like pickles? I'm assuming since you said you've had it.
I love pickles. Yes.
Ooh, that's good. Let's see. What's Sean's review? Let's give us that professional review.
Okay, so this is much different than the first time I got it.
Really?
This is a lot more pickly.
You think so?
Yeah. First time I got it actually tasted like a margarita. So this is much different.
In a good way or a bad way?
This makes more sense.
This makes more sense?
Yeah, I think this is better.
I will say every time I've had one, they're a little bit different. The consistency is up and down.
I think I like this a little bit better because the last time it was kind of like a tease of like you got a lot of different levels of different things. Like tasted the margarita and then it quickly faded away, and then it kind of gave you that pickle thing, and then kind of came in with the Sprite.
Gotcha.
So you kind of got like
that's
three
how I
levels.
felt. Like you got yeah. That's how I felt the first time.
This kind of feels more like okay, we got the Sprite and the lemonade. Nope, sorry, the Sprite and the pickles blended.
Gotcha.
This one does at least.
Just a little bit.
So this one makes more sense to me.
It's like a pickle. It's an actual pickle lemonade. I do taste the majority of the flavors I'm getting is pickle juice.
I'm actually gonna score this pretty good.
I love the crunchiness that the spear gets too with the ice. Thank you.
7.6.
7.6. 7.6. Shit
I was
out.
between 7.7 and 7.6, but I think 7.6 is more appropriate.
Okay, wait up.
And the reason I'm going to go 7.6 is the fact that I am docking it point one because of the inconsistency.
You know, that's a good thing to consider. I will say though, after biting the pickle,
The pickle's great.
the pickle's great. It's great, but the pickle juice doesn't taste the same
No, it doesn't.
as the pickle. They taste totally different. They taste like two different pickles. All right.
Where'd the pickle come from?
I don't know. It's definitely not the same jar.
No. Still good though. And really refreshing for summertime.
It's got the electrolytes you need.
Yeah. It's a good thing to pick up during these days that we're going to go into the 90 degrees.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sweating it out.
Yeah.
Wear your sunscreen, wear your long sleeves. Whatever it may be, your big fun sun hats, now's the time.
Absolutely.
We're 4 or 5 days away from summer now?
Yeah.
Tulio, thank you.
So crazy. It's just...
We're almost literally halfway through the year.
Time is going by so fast. And, yeah, we're already in summer. Before you know it, Pixar Fest is going to be done. We're going to be... We're going to be going into the Halloween season, and we're all going to be looking around at Haunted Mansion saying, what is going on?
Now, what is your view of Pixar Fest? What do you think of it?
I think they did a good job. I'll be honest.
Me neither.
I've heard things. I think the parade is fun.
The parade is pretty good.
I like the fact that they brought in characters over here at the theater.
That's really good.
I think it's really cool for the kids, bringing out characters that we've never seen before. I'll be honest, I think the statue in between the two parks is weird.
Someone brought that up the other day. I was here off stream and we were walking park to park.
Yeah.
And it was dark and it was like there was no lights on it on that big statue. It was all dark and kind of scary. Yeah. I was like, what's going on here? Like, what is like? It was like revolving, or if it did something cool, it was just kind of taking up space in the center.
Yeah, the first time I walked past it 2 weeks ago, obviously I saw it on like videos and people talking about it. The first thing was it was like 7 in the morning, and I saw it, and I'm like, thing's big. Like, thing is massive.
It's huge.
It's like, what is this thing?
It looks like it's supposed to be like a pop-up tent or something.
A little bit.
We're gonna sell merch there or something.
But overall, I like how they've incorporated a few different things. Like, I like how they've made like all the drawings at Animation Academy, Pixar, and it's like one of those things. Pixar has done so many great films over the past. Man, I think it's been around 30 years now, almost.
Well, their first feature film was
a Toy Story at 95.
Yeah, but they
did stuff before, shorts in like 80s, but we'll go from Toy Story on. So making feature films, 30 years, they've been a big part of the Disney company, and kind of giving their due of here's a festival celebrating just Pixar. I can talk even for myself on this one. My favorite character is Wall-E.
Wall-E's amazing. Yeah, we have a Wall-E emote for our subs, but I've been rotating them a lot recently, and I kind of went with like the ones I see. Like right now, Ina's using. We have a Mike Wazowski when he's waving like this, like hey. So like I gotta keep the mic.
TikTok needs to give us more than 35 spots.
Unlimited. We need unlimited spots.
we need them all. I know how that goes.
Well, we definitely had a Wall-E one for the first few weeks of Pixar Fest, but then I kind of go through like seeing what's used by the subscribers.
No, I get that.
Really, Wall-E was taking up a little too much space.
Yeah.
We just got rid of it like I want to say like 4 streams ago.
Okay.
But he'll be back. Wall-E will return.
They make their cycles. Exactly what I used to do is like every 2 weeks I'd put up a poll and be like, which ones do you want up, and we would select. That would be what
Who's it going to be
for the next 14 days, and then we'll shuffle them back up.
Speaking of Wall-E and Pixar Fest, did you ever get to go, because it's no longer part of Pixar Fest, did you get to experience Club Pixar?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No.
So
I saw the videos on it, and I did not. It was it might have been already gone. Might have been actually. You know what? I take that back. I think it was still around when I was here last, and I just walked past it.
It wasn't quite like a club.
No, it was. Well, that was. I'll say this in the nicest way I can put it. A little bit of a swing and a miss on that one.
A big swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to experience Mad Tea Party when it was over there? This is like years ago now.
Which one was this?
So that whole back lot, Hollywood studio lot area.
Yeah.
It was called Mad Tea Party.
Oh, that is so good.
And at night, like they had like these cool projections everywhere, and like music was playing. It was like it was a party.
Oh, I remember that. And I remember Tron.
Yeah, Electronica.
Yeah. And like I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting
something along the line.
Correct.
They've done it twice before. They could do it again.
Yeah, I was expecting something. I was like, from what I saw on video, I was like, kind of, I don't need to see this.
Well, I brought up Wall-E because they had a whole Wall-E dance routine with the dance team that was on stage, and they had these big trash blocks, like the compacted trash cubes, and they were like dancing with them, like around them and on top of them.
That's good. That's so good.
So Wall-E did get some credit inside the short-lived Club Pixar.
It's gonna be in our like Disney trivia books.
I will.
It's gonna be like Disney Parks Trivia Pursuit that comes out 30 years from now. What was the performance that happened in the summer of 23 that lasted 50 days?
The Wall-E. Just call it the Wall-E. Not the robot, the Wall-E.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've experienced the theater show.
Yes.
That's a great show.
It's good.
Who was the favorite character that you saw during that performance that comes out? Because they just keep bringing them out.
They keep bringing them out. Like it's, I don't know if it's always the same because I've only seen it twice.
Okay, we can compare them because I saw it once.
So I've seen it. Like I'm just sitting there, just kind of like. So I saw Ember from
Elemental.
Elemental. Yeah, just
Elemental.
completely blanked.
It's a newer movie.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so she's around now. That was surprising to me. Which
And Wade too. Wait, were they on stage?
Wade was there too. Yeah,
On stage.
I saw him on stage, and then they walked off stage.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was like, okay, so are we mixing this up, or was this like that was today? So
Okay.
So I don't know. You know how Disneyland goes. Sometimes they're like testing things out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just like a one-off or.
Interesting.
But I saw that today. I was like, cool. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Didn't even know
Cool.
you guys existed.
Thank
But yeah. No, I thought that was cool. I mean, the Incredibles I've seen running around up there all the time.
Yeah, Edna Mode, Frozone. But you don't see Edna as much in the park, do you?
But it's been cool because you've seen even like Onward characters, which is different. Brave characters are out there. I'm trying to remember who else I've seen. I'm trying to remember from 2 weeks ago. But yeah, Elemental characters obviously being a brand new movie.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen that before, and I was surprised by that. So.
I didn't see them on stage. They had their own meet and greet going on at the time.
But they might be just like cycling just to see what hits. Because it is brand new,
people
and just be like, oh, let's see what works.
It's short too. It'll be gone come the first week of August.
It's a Monday. You gotta.
It's a Monday. Throw them out there.
We gotta see what's gonna work. Let's see how the crowd reacts. It works out.
Throw them out there.
It's the Friday show now.
People are saying, if the Ducks of Disney create a podcast, I'll listen. Love this little chat they're having. Oh, thank you, son.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. If you guys are just tuning in, we got Disney streaming legend, Ducks of the Caribbean. Now, Ducks, you're quite big in the community, dude. How long have you been doing all of this?
So, I officially started in 2021.
Okay.
Creating content before the parks reopened.
Gotcha.
Did a lot of stuff just from home, just kind of for fun. So posting content since 2021. My first live stream was, I'm not joking, I know these by date now. March 26th, 2022.
Okay.
That was my first live stream, and
You have a good growth then over just a little over 2 years. And where are you at right now? Like
about 200K.
That's pretty good.
200K, and my community, my followers are fantastic. I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, it's been a ride. It's been something I could never even dream of, honestly. I never would have expected it to get to where we've gotten to today, and extremely humbled by this whole thing.
Yeah, it is very humbling.
I just love being here.
Yeah.
And I love the ability of giving people the ability of watching off of the lovely device.
The future really is now.
Yeah. I mean, I still say this today. I can't believe how lucky I have been. How lucky this whole experience has been. Just I never would have dreamt any of this. I always say this just happened by accident. But yeah, no, I did it pretty consistently. It was that 2022 year. I think it was somewhere around 150 streams, and then 2023 about 160 streams between here, Universal, Disney World.
Nice.
Right around those areas. Just a lot of grinding, a lot of hard work, a lot of early mornings, because I took that rope drop spot, just kind of ran with it for a long time. But yeah, no,
That's dedication.
It's the crazy thing is, there is some truth. I was in that kind of first grouping of streamers.
Yeah.
So a lot of change in the community, and a lot of things that have changed, even with streaming itself. I've seen TikTok really change.
Really changed?
Yeah, it's much better now than it was.
Oh, is it?
It was horrible. There was, you're going to love this.
I'm listening.
So this was one of those horror months. Literally TikTok streaming. So I think it was June of 2022. It sounds about right. The whole month, the likes didn't work.
Oh, wow.
The like counter. So,
Yeah.
so you could hit it 10 times and get 1 like. And your alive would get punished.
Yeah, like 500 likes.
So like there was little things like there was another whole because they were still trying to figure out how to do the streaming thing and like subscriptions didn't exist yet. It was a whole month where this was like August of that year. Gifting didn't work. Like the gifting goals.
Yeah.
Done. There was no gifting goals. So I was like, oh, all right, well, this is interesting. Yeah. So it's kind of was the Wild Wild West. We were
the Wild West of TikTok.
We were all just trying to figure it out and just being like, okay, and, you know, it was a brand new thing, and yeah, now we've gotten to a spot. There's a lot of people that are doing it. And it's really cool how the community has. To my community, one of the best things about Disney and TikTok and social media is you have such a selection of different individuals with different paths that you're not stuck with 1 or 2 or 3 different influencers and they're running the whole boat. You've got many, and that's great because you can connect and feel related better with other connectors, whoever they may be. Yeah. That's why I always encourage people to be like, I love it. Hey, I'll be the first one to say, I had 1 million people watching me. Yeah, thank you. But at the exact same time, I always encourage people to be like, hey, you know, watch my stuff, but always go watch other people's stuff too, because you may relate to a person than me. I wish everyone relates to me perfectly, but I know that's just not the reality. I want people to be able to feel connected with who they trust. And there's a lot of opportunities in this community for that.
I agree. I'm always getting asked, you know, how can I become a streamer? And I always say, you know, just do it.
Yeah.
Just just get started. But also, I like to point out, like, if we just look at like a mile radius from Disneyland, there's probably at least 50 restaurants, places to go eat.
Oh yeah.
And they all have their own customer base. You know, they're still around. They're all still in business. I feel like there's room to do it here or anywhere really
anywhere. I mean, the biggest thing I always tell people too, because it's very important, and I've seen a lot of people fail with just this one thing, is be yourself. If you are not yourself, you have a lot of people watching you, and they'll begin to know that either you don't love, to do it at this place, you gotta love this place.
Yeah, you have to enjoy it. You have to have some form of connection to it.
Yeah, but you gotta be who you are and be truthful. And I know a lot of that is scary and takes courage and everything like that, but the rewards at the end are so much better because you find a community that's gonna accept you for you, and it's a lot better. You feel included.
Yeah, you feel included, and I feel like everybody wants to be seen in some way.
Yeah.
Be it if you're here in the community, you guys in the chat, thank you for being here. Like, I see you guys. I really do. It's great to see returning faces in the stream and in the chat, in Discord, or even like if we're not at Disney, because we do what we call field trips.
Oh, nice. Where do you go?
We've done 2 so far, and I'm hoping to do another one. I need to look at the place because I don't want to spoil any future fun for them.
Okay.
I need to look at the dates because there's one place that does a cool thing, but it's like every 3rd Thursday. And it's like only once a month. So if I miss the day, then I have to wait till July to do it.
Okay.
But I really like to get them there as soon as possible because, like you said, like, be yourself. And like I always say, I always end up talking about the trains here. I love trains. And so it involves trains, and I feel like it's something that I'd love to share with the community. But we've done like the Palm Springs Air Show for Memorial Day.
Okay, very cool. I remember jumping in on that actually. I saw that. Yeah.
It was spotty out there, but a lot of them stuck around, and thank you guys for doing so if you watch that. We went to a concert over the weekend, and we just share different experiences.
Where at?
It was Luke Combs.
Oh, sick.
Luke Combs.
I'm big into country music.
Oh yeah, me too. Dude. It was really good. It was really good. So we just shared it with them. It wasn't like massive viewer count. I think we had like maybe max like 80 viewers, but
It's still fun.
it's people that want a glimpse into like it's me. It's something I enjoy that I wanted to share with them.
Yeah. I did the same thing last summer. We went to a, oh my god, I just blanked on her name, BB Rexa concert.
Okay.
Yeah, over at, oh my goodness, I'm blanking. It was at the boardwalk, or the walkway here in Anaheim.
The Garden Walk? Is
Yeah,
that
Garden
it?
Walk. I
Okay.
forgot it's the place that always has the concerts. I just blanked on it.
I didn't even know
House
they
of
had,
Blues.
Okay, I didn't even know they had a venue there.
which
House
is-
of Blues is over there now.
Yeah, which is really cool because it's really small. It was like 1,000 people.
It's like standing room only, right?
Fantastic.
That's crazy. I like to have a seat. Sure, I have a place to sit down.
It was fun, but it's always fun to do those streams outside the parks as well. I mean, this place is great, but also great to
But
explore other things.
it's great to see that, like, because going back to the point, like you said, like just be yourself,
Yeah,
and that's what the people want to see.
Yeah.
Like, and it proves it when you go elsewhere, and you still have that community follow you.
Correct.
And I think it's a good sign as like a creator, a streamer, whatever. I know there's a big debate between streaming is not content creation. We can get into that in a little bit, but
Yeah.
But I feel like it's nice to see that the community, although we all love Disney, it's nice to see that they're here for, in a sense, like you, the host.
Correct.
Because that's what they've gotten to know while watching the streams.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree.
All right, now let's hit the hard-hitting topics like that question right now. So it is a debate, kind of, between people. It's something I think about or hear about. Like, streaming isn't content creation. You're not making videos when you're streaming, or like, what's your take on that whole?
They're two different things.
Okay.
They're two different, and they're difficult in their own ways.
Gotcha.
So I do see them as different, but content creation is really a lot more of that factor of, creating, and it's like, I mean, it's a stupid thing to say, but it's like creating a TV show, creating a movie, something like that. Something that's going to be recorded, you get take after take to perfect, make it perfect.
Yeah.
People that are filming, I'm sorry to spoil this, if I'm spoiling this, but people that post content, me myself does this, they'll take multiple takes to get it perfect.
Yeah.
And edit together and make it a nice little production, everything like that. That takes a skill set. Your storytelling in that aspect. It's difficult. Those that are succeeding with it, they're good at it. Live streaming is a different type of skill because you're live 24/7. So you have to be on the whole time. Whatever happens is what happens. You got to be kind of a little bit more on your toes, because especially at this place, whatever happens right in front of you is happening right in front of you. You can't edit it out.
You can't control what's happening.
So there is a lot of live reaction to, and they're both difficult. I'm not going to be like, this is more harder than this. They're both very difficult in their own rights. But there's a reason why those that do content creation sometimes aren't very good live streamers, and there's a reason why certain live streamers are not good content creators. It's because it takes two different skill sets. And in my opinion, they should be seen in a way equally, especially for performing at a high level, because they're both difficult to do. And if you're able to capture, from my point of view, if you're able to capture 300-400 people at a time watching a live stream, you're doing something right, especially if they're sticking. If you got 300-500 people's attention,
When you can hold it.
when you can hold it, you're doing something right at that point. Because let's go in the comparison of the content creation side of it. A lot of those videos are 5-10 seconds. one of the biggest things I always watch for when you get our lovely stats at the end of a stream is how long was the average viewer there.
Oh, that's true.
And I want to, because that's one of the things I always am curious about, because if they're in and out and the average is 21 seconds, well, that's not doing so good. But my average is usually around 7 minutes, which is like, okay, so
that's really good,
so
dude.
We're holding people here, we're keeping a conversation, people feel engaged, encouraged to stay. That's one of the big numbers. Is
7 minutes. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. So I mean, it's always one of my. I'm always really happy to see that, because I can see, people aren't just dipping out.
They're not just swiping.
It's like, okay, there is a core group here that are staying for a long percentage of the stream, which is fantastic. But yeah, like the greatest answer, but they're both very well skilled, especially if you're doing it successfully. It takes a good skill set to be successful on both ends. Because the other thing too is the consistency factor.
That's true.
Of being a good content creator. You can have one good video that gets 7 million hits, but what do you follow it up with?
That is a hard one.
And it's really difficult. That's exactly the same thing with the live streams. It's like, you could have one stream that just blows up. You could have the opening, I always saw it like this. You could be there at opening night of Fantasmic. What happens the next day?
Fantastic again.
You could, but you've tapped into a whole new base of people that want. How are you gonna follow that up? You could do Fantastic again. You could. And you could just roll with it, but it's what are you gonna do? Awesome. How are you gonna follow it up with the next one? And the next one, and the most successful are the ones that, and you're in this category. You've shown the numbers. You're still standing.
Hello.
You've picked up a consistency where you've done back to back streams. You've put together a resume. I can see it. In the category of a solid streamer.
Oh, thank you.
So.
So there's a lot of, like you said, it's a lot of time and work that goes into it.
100%.
You don't just wake up one day and it's like, boom.
Yeah, you gotta, it takes, that's the big thing too, for anyone that, going back to that question of whoever wants to do this, patience.
Dude, it's like, okay, I know you pop in sometimes, but how often are you watching our streams?
I don't watch it.
Okay, no, that's fine.
These days, because I'm working and everything,
yeah.
I used to watch a lot. These last 5 months, it's been kind of spotty in and out, but...
Because I was saying that because, again, like, people are always asking me, how do I stream? How can I start something like this? And then no matter what it is that you want to do, maybe you want to make the best pickle lemonade.
Yeah.
By the way, before we continue on, one of our moderators wanted to know if we can treat you to anything else while you're here. Say thank you for your time. Maybe another one. Maybe something, anything that we can get on mobile order. I can run and pick it up. Just let us know.
Okay, I appreciate it. This has been fun just to chat.
It is fun.
Yeah,
I really do enjoy it, and I think the viewers are enjoying it too. I hope you guys are enjoying it.
I hope you guys are enjoying it.
If not, well,
hey, I don't need to come. Yeah, I don't need to come back. It's okay. This is his channel. It's okay. We're all good.
Well, because you said patience, and that's why I was like, okay. That's why I asked you how often are you tuning in? Because I see you'll pop in, but like you said, you're a busy man. Going back to that question where everyone's like, how can I start streaming? And I like to tell the viewers, no matter what it is, maybe you do want to become the next hot Disney streamer. Maybe you want to make the best pickle lemonade ever, the best pizza. Maybe you want to become the next Picasso, whatever it may be. Because we all have different passions. I like to tell them to follow what I do, what I would tell myself. And Brooklyn, thank you. I like to tell them what I would tell myself and what my family would tell me. It's what we now call the 3 P's.
Okay.
And the first P is patience. It's patience. You have to have that patience in perfecting your craft, whatever you're working on. You have to stay persistent you have to keep pushing through. There's days where we have 250 viewers, which is great for me. I know you knock out 300, 400, no problem. And that's impressive, especially for like taking such a long break. And then you come back and it's just like boom, like 400. I'm like, go Sean, dude.
I've been shocked.
That's really cool. That's impressive
shocked.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But then, there's days where maybe, like, I know for a fact in January, February, I was in a slump when it came to viewers. And we were hitting like 10 followers in a 5-hour stream. We would average 90 viewers.
Yeah.
And going from having consistent streams of 250 plus, and then all of a sudden one day you're stuck trying to barely break 100 in terms of viewers in the live at one time.
Yeah.
That's where the persistence comes in. Just keep doing it, because it goes to the last P, which is stay positive. You got to be happy. Like, if you're not enjoying coming out here, if you're not enjoying, be it the 5 viewers, the 500 viewers, whatever it is, if you're not enjoying that time with them, then do something else. If you're not enjoying making pickle lemonade or whatever you want to do, I promise you'll find the thing that brings you joy.
I was just posting this. We need to take a photo together when we're done, so I'll tag you on Instagram and everything like that. But I was just posting this really quick. But exactly what you were saying is really important, and I wish, and it's tough because that number's right there, and TikTok's throwing you banners every single minute of this happened, this happened.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way I could just block who's viewing in at what point, because in all reality, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
In a way. It's awesome to see that number spike, obviously. But, like, it doesn't really matter as long as if you have 5 people there or 500 people there, if you have the 5 people there that are super engaged and asking questions and want to be there, it's a whole lot more valuable than the 500 that's doing it.
It's the quality.
Yeah, it's the who's part of your community, and that's what really grows you. Is your viewers are the ones that I always. This is a horrible thing to say, but I always do say it. Whenever I'm live and I have X amount of people watching, that X amount of people are my bosses, because they're the ones that are calling, is this person worthy of my time?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. Money's great, but time is the most important thing, because time is a horrible thing to waste.
Speaking of quality, chat, can you hear us fine? We do have some mics here. If they want us to mic up for maybe a higher quality sound, let us know right now in the chat before we continue on. And everyone's saying hi to you.
Hello.
Everyone's saying hi. Bodhi, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
Let us know. You guys can hear us great. I know it may get a little loud out here on the patio, but if you can hear us great, as long as you guys can hear not me mostly, but most importantly, you want to hear Ducks of the Caribbean here in front of us. D says, sounds great. You hear us both. Okay, if we ever have issues, we do have our mics in case. But you guys just let us know. I know it might get a little loud out here on the patio. Sounds good, just background noise. If the noise is too loud, again, we can try to fix that. Just let us know. Speak up in the chat, and I'm sure one of the mods will pin something up. That way we can give you guys the best quality when it comes to hearing the conversation. It's a great conversation, by the way. I love the way we just flow. Like, even just go, just moving on.
Just go with it.
Sounds great. Okay, guys. You'd like to hear the mics to see the difference? Would you like to mic up? It's just a little clip mic. It's nothing fancy. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let me get the fluffies out. So this one's for you. You can hold it, you can clip it, do whatever you like, whatever you're more comfortable with. We'll mic up real quick and see what happens. I have Jennifer Vallejo here saying, Sean, thank you.
Check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Alright, and we're gonna put it in, and then we're gonna put this on. Alrighty, so Let's see here. Let's make sure it's in all the way. What's going on here? There we go. That's what happened. Okay.
Check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Alrighty. Now let me fix my pickup. It's a whole process over here. Okay. Testing the microphone. Testing. How is it feeling now? How is it hearing? How's it hearing? How do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat real quick. Better or worse? Mic or no mic? Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Check.
Okay, less background noise. That's what we're talking about. Okay, sounded better before, but the background noise is gone. You can hear less of the outside noise, less background noise. That's what we were going for here. We're going for less background noise for you guys. This is a learning process. This is like technically our third episode.
Oh, really?
So last Thursday, I think it's actually lower volume for me now, but isolated speech clear though. Okay.
Cool.
Here, let me see what I can do real quick for you guys. I'll turn up the gain 2 notches. That should be a little bit better. So yeah, we accidentally started. Oh, it's been something the viewers have been asking for.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I always end up having conversations with people.
That happens. Yeah.
Especially a lot of members of our community.
Yeah.
If we just stand there, or in the park that come find us.
Okay.
And I was last week. I think it was Thursday.
Okay.
We were over at Smoke Jumper's Grill because we ran into some of our viewers. Shout out to Shadow Twin for Jordan. Shoot your question. I see Jordan. If it's about campus, Jordan, I don't think I'll be there today though. I know you enjoy campus, but thank you for being here, Jordan. I was at Smoke Jumpers because we treated them to a little lemonade because it was hot. And shout out to Shadow Twin because she made me this crochet ducky.
Oh, cool.
It was really cool. I need to put it up on the IG account.
Okay.
And so we just ended up sitting there, just talking as we have the lemonades.
Yeah.
And then she brought up the fact that she used to be a cast member.
Okay.
And she worked attractions. She was talking about the Nemo ride. And have you heard about have you heard about this attraction? Did you know they have submarines here at Disneyland? Nemo ride. And have you heard about have you heard about this attraction? Did you know they have submarines here at Disneyland? I saw your video with involving the submarines. By the way, I liked it. That was pretty cool.
I actually have a funny story with that. I'll just make it really fast.
Go for it.
So of the many streams I've done, I have one corrupted file. It was the only time I ever rode the submarines.
Really?
Yeah. It's the only stream that TikTok
wouldn't let you download.
Yeah. I was like, we're never doing this again. We're done. So it was the only thing that was ever different with that stream. I was like, yeah, we're never doing this again.
She started talking about apparently I haven't been in the cavern outside of the submarine, but apparently there's a lot of spiders.
Oh.
Inside there.
Jeez.
So much so that during her training, they would tell them, "Don't look up."
But that thing's gotta go.
It's gotta go. It's a spider cave.
It's gotta go. I mean, I know this is a whole different conversation. I'm sorry to take it down a crazy wing here. If I was in charge of this place for one day, that would go. Autopia would go, and I would build. Listen to what I'm doing with that space.
Okay, impress me.
So I'd go. So the cool thing is you're already underground because the water's already gone. What I would do is I would build like a Tron type ride, but it's mostly down, and it would be Wally's scene as he's floating through space roller coaster.
Wally's Wild Ride. Wait,
Yeah.
I already have Wild Ride here.
Yeah.
Mr. Toad's got to go to that.
Yeah. But yeah, we Wally the recreation of that dancing scene with Eva as they're going through or Eve during as they're like dancing in space, and turned that into a roller coaster.
And we had a Gage Pillsbury asking because I love doing it how we. I
Yeah.
think we're getting the podcast stayed up pretty well because we get live questions from the chat right here. I think the only downside is TikTok doesn't show the chat in the replay.
Oh yeah, I know.
Which
I always I wish that was the case.
And then sometimes when you like upload it or whatever you do, you sound a little crazy like you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
But we have a Gage Pillsbury. Gage would like to know if or when, if ever, will daily Ducks of the Caribbean streams take place again.
It's unknown at this point. As some of you guys know, I did move to Arizona at the beginning of the year. So a lot of things happened at the end of 23, beginning of 24. Unfortunately, put me in Arizona. We're working, me and my girlfriend are working on getting a place back here in Orange County. I love being here. I love doing this. I want to do this every single day. So I'm fighting to make this work.
Gotcha.
I would love to be back. I wish I could give you guys a better timeline, but there's a lot of things in my life that I don't know at this point. And once I do know, believe me, you guys will be very much the first to know. Hey, we're back on track because I'm trying to make this work any way possible, whether it be here or other theme parks. I've come up with many different possibilities, and I'm fighting to make this work because I really, really enjoy doing this for you guys. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't think anyone would ever say being in a theme park is not fun every single day. But I'm hoping that we can make it happen, and we can put this thing back on track.
So you have a lot of love coming through the chat right now. We have Sonia La Unica. I hope I said that right, Sonia. Sonia La Unica saying, "Tell him in all caps after this. We miss him dearly."
No, I appreciate it. And the big thing too is I miss you guys a lot. I miss obviously this place, but I miss the community over that basically 6 month period where I didn't stream. There wasn't a day that went by that I didn't think about just coming straight back. I've been trying to figure out what's the best way to make this work, not only for myself, but for Alex's girlfriend. But then on top of it, I gotta get my stuff together, because when my stuff is together, that's when we're gonna make the best content.
Gotcha.
A lot of the stuff, there's a lot of things that happened. Obviously, I was saying it was late 2023. And with that, I kind of went back and watched some of that late content in 23, some of the stuff I was posting. And you could see that I was definitely, I don't want to say bothered, but there was a lot mentally, and it makes it tough. Even when you're in such a fun place, sure, it can be a 3-hour vacation from the distractions of the real world. But even then, there were some of the things that were happening and still ongoing. They're not light stuff. I mean, when you're dealing with major health issues and where are we going to live? Jobs getting changed, the major stretches of life. When I come back, I want to come in with the ability of giving the viewers that, I know very much enjoy watching my content, giving them the best content that I can give them, because it's that time that they're giving me, which is still amazing. It's awesome that they come in and watch for 3 hours at a time, and I want to give them the best 3-hour content run I possibly can give, whether that be 13 rides or whatever it may be. I want to be able to give it my all, and not a distracted Sean that has a lot of other things on his mind, because that's just not fair to them, because then I feel like I'm wasting their time with not a good representation of what Disney is, because in a lot of ways, and I've said this many times too, it's great being able to stream here, because it's got to be the side that doesn't make Disney look bad, which in Disney is great on its own.
It's hard to make it look bad. It's hard. It's kind of hard to do that.
It's hard, but it's just got to be that piece that answers the questions and, helps people, understand how to do this place the best that we possibly can. And both of us both have a great expertise, having been here. We have a lot of information that we can share. What the best food is. When is the best time to get on this attraction. Where to park.
Where to park. And one thing I've been doing is sometimes I'll start the stream at the tram.
Yeah, which is a good idea.
Because not a lot of people have been here. There's new people that come for the first time every day.
Yeah.
And maybe they want to know, how do I get to the park?
Correct.
What does the front of the park look like?
Yeah.
How far is the other park from here? And it's like, it's like a 40-second walk max.
100%. I mean, I don't know how many rope drops you do, but this goes back to 2 years. Every single time I would rope drop, obviously, I'd get here about 7:15, kind of on average. But you would have the massive queues outside of Disneyland and DCA, just kind of like standing. Everyone's always like, kind of like antsy and kind of like freaking out, like, oh my goodness, when's the gates gonna open? And I would always just be like, you don't worry about it. This is gonna be okay. 7:30 is usually the norm. There was a point last year where it was actually 7:20, but I'd be like, hey, this is the norm. This is what's gonna happen. A lot of people don't know a lot of these like rope dropping things. You come in, Main Street is open for 30, 40 minutes before the park.
Yeah.
Starbucks is
open,
running. I probably am gonna start a series soon. I just got to piece it together because it's a big series. I'm gonna basically break down every major attraction, drop it piece by piece, basically giving my playbook from especially the last 2 years of exactly how to do it, exactly where to line up, and then how to maximize those first 60 to 90 minutes in the park, because those 60 to 90 minutes in the park, you can get a lot done.
It's a critical time.
Yeah, you can really, and you can get done there really maximizes what you can then sit down for lunch at like 12, 1 o'clock and not feel stressed. Get the value of your dollar.
Yeah.
What being here. So.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to start. I've got to figure out how to piece that.
There's a lot that goes into a rope drop.
But there's a lot of things that are pretty surprising, which I'll give you guys. I don't know how many people are in here, but little surprise.
We have 136 duckies watching.
Oh, sweet. To everyone that's watching, one of the things that's very surprising that I don't know if a lot of people would agree with me on this one. I've done it a few times. I would never, ever, ever rope drop Rise of the Resistance.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again.
I would never rope drop Rise of the Resistance.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I got distracted because I didn't want to read this for you.
Oh no, you're good.
We have a Sandy RSLP that says, "Take care of yourself first. We'll wait and be here when you come back."
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
They have the Quack Pack for now.
So, I
really appreciate everyone for being here.
Yeah, you've taken the duck. You've passed the. I passed the duck thing on me.
I just love I love ducks. Donald Duck's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I came across this picture of me when I was, I don't even know, like 3, max 4.
Yeah.
And I'm in Toontown getting Donald's signature.
Oh, that's sweet.
Like a big boy. Like my parents weren't even next to me. Like
that's
I think
sweet.
like I had my sister next to me or something.
Yeah.
But it was just like me holding the book and Donald signing the book.
That's great.
Quack Pack Origins.
That's where it all starts.
And people are saying, do you remember what his name, looking at you, what his name was before Ducks of the Caribbean?
Yeah, do you remember my name?
I don't know. I've only known you as Ducks of the Caribbean.
So my first username was actually Disney Bracket.
Disney Bracket.
Disney Bracket was the first name, and that was from 2021, from the beginning to July of 2021. And a lot of my content before streaming was we would just take Disney categories like favorite ride or favorite food, and we'd throw them in a bracket NCAA style. And all the viewers would
vote.
Yeah, vote on the different things.
Fun.
So that's how the origin of this all started.
I guess I could see that with the content you've been putting up recently too, like best places to sleep.
Yep, some of the things
Rides that should be scary tab. I loved that one.
Yeah.
That was a great one. And then I went to, I was like, is there really a scary tab?
Yeah, it was shocking. And then I went through it, and then my top 3 scary rides weren't there. And I'm like, what is going? That's why I had to make the second video.
Make a take.
That's why I had to do the second video.
I agree with Sky School.
Sky School and then Pixar Pal Around. Which is hit and miss. I get that. It's like some people are like terrified of it, and some people are like,
I love it.
Yeah, some people love it. And then the last one that shocked me, and I still think this is the one that's got to be on there. They got to edit it. Finding Nemo.
I could see that.
Because that's got a lot of phobias in there.
Like, a lot of phobias, dark spaces, confined spaces as well.
Like
sharks.
Well, now spiders.
Yeah. So we'll get back to that. So she was telling us how apparently the cavern, is just, I guess, infested with spiders.
That can't be fun.
And if they get bit, they just get a Benadryl, get some Benadryl on it, and back to work.
Shout out to the great cast members that work at this place.
Shout out to those cast members. Because they have to walk through the cavern, I believe, like every morning and every closing. I would not want to do that. 1 o'clock or 12:30, 1 o'clock, spider time.
Well, that's the other thing, too.
No, thank you.
I don't know if you've been in there on, like, a hot day at, like, 9 p.m. It smells real bad.
In the subs?
It's bad.
I rarely do the subs. We've done them only one time on stream.
Okay.
And it was, like, 10 minutes before closing.
Oh, yeah.
And it was still a full sub.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
Yeah, that's the thing that's always funny.
Dude.
That's the thing that's always funny, too, is there's always people getting on, like, what are we doing? Like,
don't you know how bad this ride
is?
is?
This is not a good one. No.
It's a cool concept.
It is a cool concept. I give them that. It is a cool concept. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, there's 83 attractions, I think, at this place, at this point, between the two parks. It's number 83 on my list.
Wow, number 83. Ouch. So you're saying Web Slingers is above?
Actually has grown on me a little bit.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, I didn't love it when it first came out, but it's I mean, it's not high, but
it's 82.
I'm just saying, not 82. it probably, I got to do the full list, but it'd probably fall in the 40s. Probably
that's pretty good. Middle pack.
Yeah, it's grown on me. I'm like, all right, I have an appreciation for this thing. I wish it was a little bit different, but it's like, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Then what is your number one? Like, what's your, or how about not even number one, because I know for me it's hard to say.
Yeah.
What's your top 5?
So, Rise is 1. Space Mountain's 2.
Okay.
This is where it gets hard. So those 1, 2 are actually really easy for me.
Gotcha.
Rise and Space are easy. And then depending on, I have this tier 2, where I would say 11 rides kind of jockey around each other, depending on time of year, kind of what I'm feeling.
Okay.
And in that grouping, you've got like Incredicoaster, Guardians of the Galaxy, Radiator Springs Racers, Indiana Jones, Pirates, Big Thunder. It's pretty much those. I think I just named 7 that kind of jump in between 3 and 8.
Gotcha.
Just depending on how I'm feeling, things like that. Soaring for 3 and 8.
Gotcha.
Just depending on how I'm feeling, things like that. Soaring, normal soaring.
As it should be.
Creeps in there, yeah. But soaring around the world, man, that should just stay at Epcot. That's my opinion.
I feel like that is a great place for it in Epcot. And because now you got me talking to a whole nother topic that I love to talk about on stream, and that is, well, I guess I could say it as a question. Do you think California Adventure is losing its emphasis on California? The park first opened up as a way to attract and retain guests in the resort who would come for a day and then like go to Hollywood the next day, go to Redwoods for their vacation. They would come as a pit stop and then go see the rest of California.
Yeah.
And they wanted to bring all the fun of California into one spot.
Yeah.
Do you think it's kind of stepping away from its original concept of being California focused?
Yeah, I think it kind of went away. It's a while back for me. I would say probably about 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was when we went through that massive redo with the pier being redone, Cars Land coming in, Hollywood Land kind of losing its
flair.
Feel. Yeah. So the whole California adventure thing kind of has dwindled for me quite a bit. And what I thought they should have done, which they, in my opinion, I won't say they blew it, but my thought is kind of what we're seeing right now, which is Pixar Fest. I thought they should just turn that into a Pixar park.
That's what I think too.
And they kind of blew that when they put Avengers Campus in.
And they took away Bugs Life.
Yeah, and they took away, because think of it now. You got Pixar Pier, that would have been fine. You have the Hollywood area, which you could turn into something all Pixar.
Pixar Studios, something
like that. You could have like a Incredico, not Incredico.
Two Incredicoasters?
Yeah. But you could have some of these other movies kind of incorporate, because we know they have massive buildings empty right now. And you could even turn Grizzly into one of your properties if you wanted to, or who knows? Maybe we got a bear. Well, Brave was that,
Just retheme it to Brave.
Yeah, retheme it to Brave, and there you go. You're good there. And so you could have pieced it, and if you wanted to change soaring, you could have done something that was super cool, where you were soaring over all the different Pixar worlds, which would have been kind of AI. I get that some people wouldn't like that, but it would be a different take and a different kind of create a whole Pixar world.
I could see that now. You know what would work really well, like as a scene?
What?
Because it's just like you're just sparking my imagination. I love it.
Yeah.
Like Pixar's. From Pixar films. I'm already imagining like in Bug's Life when Flick takes off to the city and he's on the dandelion stem.
Exactly.
Or the scene from Toy Story with the RC car.
Yeah.
When they hit the firework and they take off into the sky.
Just kind of thinking about it, even like Cars, you could be like racing behind McQueen.
Right.
As he's doing the different races and things like that.
Going around the oval circuit, that'll be cool.
And even in The Incredibles, going through like one of their fight scenes, things like that. It could have incorporated, and going back to the whole Wall-E thing, dancing through space. I mean, it could have worked really, really well. And then Up.
People are saying this is brilliant. This is amazing. Great.
But, I mean, it would have been cool. I mean, going back, this is 12 years. I wish they would have just been, this is a Pixar world now. It would have been really unique. The California thing was an idea. It didn't really work. Let's create this Pixar. Because then it would have been really cool, because it would have, I don't want to say, Disneyland's always going to generate money. But it would have been a new thing to attract viewers.
Right.
It would have been like, oh, I want to come to Disneyland to go
Pixar
to Pixar
World or whatever it might be.
Yeah, because it's going to be all these rides that are nowhere else in the world.
Yeah. Liz, thank you.
Kind of like that Epcot thing.
I feel like Over the World should be at Epcot because they have the World Pavilion over there. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And then over here, it's in the name of the park, California Adventure, and you're barely touching on California now.
I mean, Cars Land is based in Arizona.
It's in Arizona. Isn't it, though? Isn't it?
It is. I'm pretty sure. I think it is Arizona. So it's like, all right, we tried here.
That's so true, though.
I mean, Avengers Campus is technically in New York.
True. And hey, Disney, if you're listening, we are still waiting for our e-ticket attraction in Avengers Campus. You can't fool us. You can't fool us, Ducks, because we know for a fact that Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout opened well before Avengers Campus.
Oh, yeah.
We want the e-ticket, please, that you guys said that would be here, that is no longer here.
And that was
never here.
And that was another staple to California Adventure early on, was Tower of Terror.
Right. That
was, in a way, for me, I know not for everyone, but for me at least, that was kind of the iconic piece, that and the bear, for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bear was in the logo for years.
The bear was the logo, but then once Tower of Terror came in, it was the Hollywood Tower. It was like, whenever I thought California Adventure, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And it was a nice little, like you said, a nice centerpiece. And it was also a nice little cap for Hollywood.
Yeah.
The Hollywood section of the park.
The other thing, too, and this is a deep cut. I don't think anyone's
Get
gonna
ready, duckies.
care about this, but maybe you remember this, but it was like 2004, maybe to 2006.
Okay.
Maybe 08. They used to have all those Pixar games. They had the Boardwalk games.
Yes.
And I'm not joking. They had one game that was like the greatest thing ever, and I was a pass holder at the time. And they had a basketball shoot. It was like $5. You got like 3 shots. It was like an automatic win. I literally came home with like 25 basketballs that summer. It came leave with 3 basketballs, put them in the car, and then come back a week later with 3 more basketballs.
That's crazy.
It was a sad moment when the games went away because I ran out of basketballs.
It's like, well, what are we gonna do with this thing?
It was great. This thing's lasted me for a long time. It was just like, oh, I won 3 more basketballs. All right, this is
There
good.
we go. Let's keep her going.
Yeah, silly thing, but just the good old days of California Adventure.
And we'll go to a question that's just popping up here in the chat. Nick Stuffer 795. It's about the park. They want to know, do you think Disneyland will be a good time to visit this upcoming fall with all the refurbishments going on? I like to call it the Great Western Wall of Disney.
Yeah, the thing is rough. I think this summer is going to be rough.
It's going to be pretty tough because it's Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, soon to become Tiana's, and they even closed Critter Country.
So Winnie the Pooh's gone.
Winnie the Pooh's, well, he's closed for now. He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Hopefully.
But then, I mean, I get this is not going to take a lot of people, but also canoes will go down.
Oh, I just started getting on the. I know you love the canoes.
Real hitter. It's a real love-hate relationship with that one.
So we actually have a chest mount for the canoes.
Yeah.
That way I can do my full part. When you do it, how do you stream the canoes?
So what I do is
you just hold it under your neck.
I gotta think about it for a second. So if I am on this side, so I'll be streaming like this, and usually kind of goes to the side. I'll take the oar, and I'll put it underneath my arm, and I do it like this. And therefore, it's almost a full body motion.
Oh, wow.
And so it turns into almost a full core workout because you got to keep the whole thing. So I'm winded when it's done because I've literally done a 10-minute thing because I'm actually pumping, but they're still got a good shot because for the most part, outside of like kind of a slight movement.
Okay.
And this thing stays
pretty solid.
And then if it's the other side, I do it the other way, but you're still getting a full, and I just watch the person in front of me the whole time, and I just stay on that person's motion. So I just match exactly what that person's doing.
It's hard when you do that and you get a little one who hasn't quite learned rhythm or something, following the leader. Yeah. And so like you're knocking paddles. And
So it's timing it out, which is tough. If you're in front of someone that's really got good timing, then we're good. But yeah, in those cases, it's not so good. I've had one canoe trip around this time last year. It was a high school. It was like 20 kids in high school, and they were in line. I jumped in behind them and stood there for about a minute, and the one kid yells out, "Oh my God, it's Ducks of the Caribbean. We know him." They were pumped. Like it was like a San Diego school, and like it was like a tiny high school. This is our whole school, this is our whole graduating class, and they're like, "Yeah, we watch you on the canoes all the time. Don't worry, you're not gonna have to row at all."
Nice.
Yeah, they're like, "All right,
our treat this time."
Yeah, and we flew. It was awesome. It was like, this is the greatest thing ever. But
that sounds cool.
That was a great trip. But yeah, I would say 95% of the trips have not gone like that. They're more me going like this and making sure that this thing is, and trying my best to just keep it going.
Keep it straight.
Yeah.
Thank you again to everyone who's here. Thank you to the gifters and subs, because thanks to them we're able to do you know what we do with these little guys?
I've seen it. Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Well, we definitely have to do it on here before we take off. But we have a chest mount in here that I carry now all the time, just in case they want me to get on the canoes. And so I put it on that way I can actually row the boat.
Yeah.
But I feel like to them, and I'm sorry guys, whenever we do the canoes, I feel like they're like going like this.
That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
You just see an oar moving back and forth.
There's a few rides where I do my best to keep it straight and keep it as still as I possibly can. There's a few, and my community knows. It's just like, hey, whatever happens here, it's that one. It's Indiana Jones. Whatever happens, happens. So
Indiana Jones is a fun one though.
just throw it. Just get in the last row, throw it in the air, and just be like,
Whee! You're gonna see something.
"What's gonna happen?" just stay out of everyone's way. It's just
Thank you, Brenda.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious though. So, are there any rides then? Because I know for a long time I would kind of stay away from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I've streamed it maybe twice now.
Okay.
Are there any rides that you prefer not to stream, other than the canoes?
So, I mean, I kind of just listened to what the cast members have told me over the years.
Okay.
I've just kind of listened to them of what's allowed, what's not allowed.
Okay.
Different attractions I've been told, no go. I just don't do those.
Which ones are those, may I ask?
I mean, the ones
you can
that
keep your secrets if you want
No,
to.
I mean, the ones that I've been told no go are kind of ones related, more that have copyright. So there's a couple weird ones, like, and sometimes you just learn on the spot.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
You don't know.
you just don't know. Like, it doesn't say, or you don't know. Mr. Lincoln is a no-go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
of copyright issues.
Interesting.
I don't think they own footage in that. So.
Gotcha. We did it one time. It was like we creeped Mr. Lincoln.
Okay, got it.
If you don't know what creeping is, it's when you enter the attraction at 12 a.m. or whatever hour on the dot that the park closes.
Yeah, then there's Star Tours.
I've heard some things about Star Tours. We've never done Star Tours.
Yeah, Star Tours, no go. I'm trying to think. I'm going through the park in my head really quick. Not Disney related, but TikTok related. Autopia.
So we've had some success. We've did it.
Okay, so you may have gotten through.
We got through, but I also wasn't behind the wheel. We had a guest with us driving.
Okay, so you were probably fine there. So like usually, and I've heard this from many creators, they get flagged for driving.
Yeah.
New one that I've heard is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That's a copyright
That's
thing,
what I've heard about it. But that's like TikTok related.
That's TikTok related.
I've heard
That's
too.
not as much. I always say the wrong name. The Gadget Coaster.
Oh, gadget. That's why the chest mount allows us to get on there.
Oh, okay, so they let you with that. Okay.
So there's 3 rides that they ask, or at least 2 that require. And Credit Coaster, people kind of slip it through by holding.
The Credit Coaster is you have to have a wrist.
That's what they say.
thing.
So we just like to stay in policy.
Yeah.
I know some people will get on with like their phone and like hold it out.
Yeah.
But like just recently, I've been seeing those lollipop signs, with the little stick and the big sign, and it said, because we went on it last week, and it said like all items must be secured.
Okay.
Including like cell phones. It has like the big the basket that you put things in, and everything's like falling in the basket.
Okay.
But they had no problem with the chest mount.
Got it. Okay.
The other one is Sky School.
Okay.
They will literally stop the lift hill if they see something
yeah.
in your hand.
So the reason actually I didn't do Sky. This is way back. Like this is first month of me streaming. They were cool with filming, but the problem was the service on there is horrible.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's terrible. So
I've always
stopped.
had good success.
The funny thing is when I go up the lift, those few times I ever did it, the whole thing would go to red.
Oh. Ooh.
And I was like, okay, we're not doing this again.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that's actually my thing with that one's not even a Disney thing, that's a service. So
Gotcha. May I ask who your service provider is? You can plead the fifth. AT&T.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have problems around the pier.
Around the pier.
Yeah, so around that area, so like the swings sometimes cuts out. The jumping jellyfish is fine.
I love that ride.
Inside out, I have issues around that corner. But once I get past that little corner and then on the Pixar Power Around, I'm okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
but outside of that, I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. Subs, I don't do that because.
I thought you loved them.
No.
I thought it was your favorite place to be. We're going to do a sub marathon together one day, guys, and we're going to see how many times we can do it in a day.
I think everything else, I'm trying to remember, I think everything else is pretty greenlit.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember.
There's nothing that I've never been told no, other than, oddly enough, it wasn't even the park. I'm thinking now. One time, someone told me that there's no video recording. It was in the Lego store.
Really?
That's what I thought. And it was funny because they saw me walk in with it, and I'm like, "Hi there," you know, with this whole set. I'm like, "Hey there," like. And then I already did a whole lap through the store, so it didn't quite affect me. But I went through the whole store, and then I was at the last display, and then I was gonna head out, and then an employee came up to me and was like, "Oh, there's no recording in here." I was like, "Okay, no problem."
Oh, okay.
Interesting. No, we do have the parade coming. Were you interested in watching the parade? What's your view?
Yeah, I'll jump in there with you.
You want to watch it, or do we want to move inside? It's up. Want to keep doing.
Whatever you want to do.
This is your Disney day because I know you're not always here now.
Let's move inside.
Let's move inside.
Yeah,
you heard the man. Let's get inside. And again, if you're hungry or you're thirsty, just say the word, and the Quack Pack can get you a little. I like to call.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So we're gonna get the podcast moved inside real quick, guys, as the parade's coming by. I think it'll be a nice.
Yeah, I didn't even realize we were at that spot.
I didn't either until I heard "Calling all dreamers." Yeah. I like to say "Calling all duckies." Hold on and grab that table right there.
I think we can just flip right around the corner.
I think so. I don't think that can open from here.
Watching people do this.
Oh my gosh, she's got that strong arm on him.
There we go.
You see that? Like grip straight? Ducky straight? Oh, this is perfect. What side do you want? You pick.
I'll go right here. I think this works. I'll take an angle.
Now again, if it's too loud for you guys in the background, let us know. We can change the gain on our mic. We have moved the podcast inside. And let me just see what the mics are picking up real quick.
Okay.
We'll change the gain a little bit. Okay, the mic should be pretty decent. How's it going in the chat?
2, 3.
Check 1, 2. Christina's Magical Moment says hello to you.
Check 1, 2. 1, 2. Hello. Sorry. Hello.
Ooh. If you want this side, let me know.
I think we're good. As long as I'm coming through all right.
I see it coming through on my end on the little monitor. Joanne, okay, we got thumbs up.
Good.
So what were we talking about? Your grip strength. How were you able to open that?
I'm not joking. Before you showed up, like the 10 minutes, I watched 3 people do that exact
Really?
same thing. Yeah, so I was like, okay, it's doable. I watched 3 people do it.
Okay.
I'm not that.
Gotcha. The grip strength is crazy on this ducky. So you've been doing this for going on 3 years now?
Full-time content, or I guess producing content, 21, 22. So yeah, about 3 years.
Okay.
From the streaming standpoint, basically on a full schedule, it was about almost 2 years.
Okay.
And then obviously took this little break here. And now trying to figure out where to take the next step. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Now, have you ever had a moment where you're like, I know what I'm doing is working or it's good? Like you're doing good out here?
Oh, yeah. I would say the most successful time that I had was 2023, January, February. And it's just honest truth. Splash Mountain and TikTok just meshed.
I heard something good. I heard something about that. I would talk to other people when I first started.
Yeah.
And they just love, it just loves that combination of maybe it's the water, I don't know.
It was the tick up of going up that hill. You would just see the view count just
go up with you.
Go up with it. And it was, I'm just being completely honest. I remember there's one other ride, and I'll talk about it, that's completely broken when it comes to this. But Splash Mountain was broken in the aspect, and I'm sure some people were in there on these Saturday mornings when this would happen.
You were going on in the morning?
Oh, I would go on at 8 in the morning. We'd go on 8 in the morning, and we'd just loop it. Because no one would be in line. So we would just sit there until 8:45, and This is just straight honest truth. In 45 minutes, I would have over 100,000 people.
That's crazy. Oh, like when you ended the live, that's what your stats are saying.
I could see because it gives you stats as you're going along. I get off, I go to Woody the Pooh, and I'd have 6,000 people watching at
That's
one
crazy.
point. It was just that ride was. It was something with TikTok and Splash Mountain where they just
blended well together.
They just meshed together, and with that, I was able just to. And for me, there was a long time running joke of, "Am I good at this, or is it just Splash Mountain?"
Well, I would say if you can carry a good majority of that audience from the initial climb of the hill and drop onto Winnie the Pooh and keep them with you, I think then
yeah, and that was kind of one of those things of with TikTok. It was let's see how many people actually like me for me and keeping me along. The other ride, and it still exists, that's just broken, and it's more broken than Splash Mountain, is Jurassic World at Universal.
So I've heard. Maybe it's the dinosaurs. Maybe it's the fact that it's a water ride. Combination of that.
Yeah. I have a friend, streamer. This happened. This was not me, but this was him. About a year ago, I would say. Maybe a little over. It was early summer last year. At one point, had 47,000 people watching on that ride.
At one time. Send a rose, everybody.
But it's things like that where it's just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
We've seen some things like that.
Yeah.
Like we did Fantasmic.
Fantastic.
First, we were thank you to the gifters and subs. We were able to purchase a dining package for the return.
Which one did you do?
We got to do Blue Bayou, get them right in the center. Cool. We waited and waited outside. We were there I was waiting for at least 2 hours before they let us get to the spot.
Okay. And
then you sit down another hour before the show.
Yeah.
So we were waiting out there for them, and something about maybe it had to be a combination of the return of a show, being right front and center, and being able, not thanks to the gimbal, because I don't have the best hand off the gimbal.
Yeah.
So big props to the gimbal. And we hit, I think, 3,500 at one point in the stream, which is for me, for a Disney stream, that's insane.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And then you get the fireworks right after.
Yeah. Fantasmic does, especially with the return and everything like that, Fantasmic can have that wonder.
Yeah.
So.
And then I think another one that there's two attractions I've noticed, like you've noticed, that just TikTok loves.
Yep.
And sometimes this one's 50-50. It either loves it or nothing happens.
Matterhorn is hit or miss. I agree with that one.
Matterhorn, and then Incredicoaster.
Incredicoaster can be hit or miss. The other one I was going to add on is Turtle Talk with Crush.
Really?
Yeah, that one I've had weird moments. This is early streaming, 2022. There was one time I hit 6K.
In Turtle Talk?
Turtle Talk.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but people love the talk. They love
it. They love it. It's a fun experience. It really is. It's a great experience.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe because it's the time I started doing all this. We've been out here for less than a year. We're heading into our year.
Okay.
I think it's at the end of next month.
Yeah.
And every time we can have we'll have great viewership, and then we go into Turtle Talk.
Okay.
And for some reason it just plummets, which it's not an issue on my end. I know whoever's here right now, for example, you guys, they're here because they want to be here.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. But I've never had great success with Turtle Talk.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's because it's a screen.
It might have changed. I don't know. Maybe it was overdone.
Maybe.
That could be it.
That could be.
I'll tell you two things. How many people are in here? Because I'm about to reveal.
We've been fluctuating. I'm impressed. I think we hit 170.
About to reveal.
We're at 123.
123.
I like that.
So I'm good with that. So I'm about to reveal a pretty big secret that I won't really say to many people, but should be something that a lot more people that are streamers should be thinking about. I'll give you a good example because I did this very early on in my streaming career, probably first 15 streams, I would have to say.
Okay.
But it was one of my most successful streams, especially early on. It was the night that the electric parade came back.
Oh, wow.
It was that night, and it looked like that night, I remember it very well. I came in at this was when I was doing night streams, not morning streams, so kind of opposite. Came in at 2 o'clock, and it felt like the Super Bowl with everyone lined up and everything like that. And I kind of came in with the mindset of, okay, I'm going to show the electric parade. I was in the park for 10 minutes, and I literally took my playbook and I said, throw it away. We're not going to cover it. And I said, we're not doing this at all. Got on stream, and literally, I think we did one ride, and I got off the ride, and the first thing I said is, got on stream, and literally, I think we did one ride, and I got off the ride, and the first thing I said is,
on the submarines!
we're going to do everything else.
I think we lost some signal. Oh, we're back. Signal
okay,
back.
Cool.
We're doing the submarines instead of electrical light parade.
So I said, we're going to do everything else. And I think we started at 5 or something like that, went to midnight, 7-hour stream, something along the lines of that. We did 21 rides, but we did everything big. And
wow.
I got to look at, I have this massive spreadsheet that shows me everything.
Oh, that's good. That's how you should do it. Note everything.
But I think it was something crazy. I picked up 2,500 followers that night.
That's insane.
But it was purely because I said, hey, this person, they're all showing the parades. Go watch them. But hey, we're going to be doing everything else.
That's
and so it's almost like you got to go with the mentality of what's everyone else not doing. And
that's how I feel a lot of if something's happening, electrical light parade. It's I already know in my head, everyone's going to be there.
Yes. So
and then I still show up.
Yeah. And that's the funniest thing is But I mean, there's been. I think it was the night of Phantasmic coming back. I remember I was in Arizona. I was just scrolling through the phone. There might have been 20 streams on that first show. It might have been more.
And that's just TikTok.
That was just TikTok.
That's not YT. That's not IG.
Yeah, there was a lot more across all the boards. I mean, So, and then the second thing, which is not related to this, but back to Turtle Talk. One of my greatest moments in Turtle Talk was, and I don't know how we got this done, but we showed up at 10 o'clock on a random Wednesday morning. I was the only one. We got the whole show to ourselves.
So it was an interview with
Crush.
one-on-one.
Which was really fun. So that was my peak Turtle Talk moment, is every question that we ever had got answered in that 12 minutes.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And
Talk about a memory.
I was immediately when I walked in, I turned to the T out and see him dude, I'm sorry. If you don't want to do this, you can take a break.
You can just sit here for 12 minutes.
And he's no, we're good. We're gonna do this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that was really fun.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah, really, really random. And it was literally, we were there 5 minutes before the show. We were looking around, and I was like, there's no one here. This might actually happen. And then the doors opened, and we were the only ones. So, is this going to happen? And sure enough,
it happened.
It's happened.
It happened, folks.
Yeah.
Anything can happen when you put your mind to it.
Yeah. But, yeah.
So, you said earlier that you enjoy the parks. You love Disney parks. How did that start for you?
So very early as a kid, I used to always come here with my family, friends. Probably the love started, I don't know, probably 11, 12 years old. We lived down in San Diego, so coming up made it pretty easy. I loved always doing, at that point, there weren't really ride challenges, but it was just kind of more of, let's see how much we can get done in a given day. The good old days of what I call the peak time of Disneyland, which was 08 to 12, where you could just stack those fast passes.
Oh my
and
gosh.
everything was running. Cars Land was right around the corner. In certain cases, in 12, it was there.
I would blend that in with Cars Land too a little bit.
Yeah, it was like, it might have been even the 14, 12. It was like '08 to like 14.
That sounds about right.
Was like the perfect time, and I was in college during this time, so I'd come with friends and we'd see how much we can get done. My record for one day was 55 attractions
In one day.
in one day.
Wow.
Which is moving. Yeah, it's always, so we've always loved to just try and see how much we could get done in a 16-hour period. Always loved the rides. And then, you know, always been into the films, Pixar. It's always cool, you know, seeing what these really creative minds that put these worlds together can actually produce. It's really, I mean, sometimes we take it for granted. We've been around so much, but like, we'll just talk about Rise for a second. Rise, for someone that's never seen it, is, especially a big Star Wars fan, is amazing. This is magnificent. Like how you're immersive, and like, you know, talking about Pirates of the Caribbean and just kind of being transformed into these different worlds, even to Cars Land, the whole land itself. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of what they've done with Avengers Campus, but even Avengers Campus with the shows, the characters that are around, these minds have been able to create this world and throw a lot of worlds in it. And you forget that, no joke, 500 feet is Anaheim, which is nothing like Disneyland.
And I guess and that can go all the way back to the berm. Do you know about the berm?
Yes.
The train travels on.
Yeah.
Walt never didn't want people to see the outside.
Yeah.
And he didn't want anyone outside to see the inside.
Yeah.
In fact, so you can rarely see the castle, even from the taller attractions in DCA.
Correct. And like just the overall, especially when this place was just getting started in 60s and 70s, there was a lot of thought into everything that was actually happening. And I've said this multiple times on my chat. I think it's amazingly creative, and it's just right there. There's the tree that is shaped exactly the same size as the Matterhorn, and it shapes the whole thing around that you can't see the Matterhorn from Frontierland or Adventureland or any of the places. It perfectly covers it up. It's like little details like that are just like, this place is really well thought out. And they've really cared about creating something that's not only fun for their diehard fans, but just the person that's going to come here once in their life. Mm-hmm. It's a different experience. It's something that's really fun.
I mean, I will say, though, there is at least one place where you can see it all. You can see...
Pixar Palaron.
Oh, that too. You can see the Matterhorn. You can see Space Mountain. You can see the castle. You can see Thunder Mountain. You can see, well, what is now going to be Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but you can see Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
You can see all the mountains and the castle.
Yeah.
And that's on the middle of Tom Sawyer's Island, which is, I think, called like Pirate's Lair now, okay. Pirates something.
Yeah.
I always call it Tom Sawyer because that's what I grew up with. But if you go up there and you go to the treehouse area, you can stand up there and then look on one side, and you can see Space Mountain, Matterhorn with the castle in front of it, and then Thunder Mountain right to the left. And it just really brings everything together. It's really cool to see. And then right behind you, you look over your shoulder, you have all of New Orleans Square that you can see, and of course Splash Mountain in the back right there too.
That's cool. Yeah, it's a cool shot.
And of course the Matterhorn tree, you can see it, but it's not in the way of the Matterhorn.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah.
So we were talking about fast passes in that golden day, that golden age. I used to have, when I would come in like after school in high school with my sister.
Yeah.
And sometimes my brother would hop in too. And we had a little system down like to the T to do all like the big e-ticket attractions at the time. This is probably like 2013, 14.
Okay.
Cars Land was definitely already there.
Okay.
We would walk in and go straight to Tower of Terror.
Okay.
And get a fast pass return for Tower of Terror.
Okay.
We would then make the walk all the way to Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
Because by then, at that time, back in the day, it was maybe like a 15-minute wait.
Yeah.
At night.
Yeah.
On a weekday, you know. Now it's 40 minutes all the time. So we get on Incredicoaster once, maybe twice, depending on our return time. Mm-hmm. And then we go back to Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
and get on, use our fast pass, and head over to cars.
Okay.
And just kind of, because it was, by then it's almost park closing.
Yeah.
The line was very minimal. We'd get on the 3 big attractions, and then if we felt like it, because it was usually a school night, we'd head over here and maybe do something. But that was like our little night routine. We'd get fast pass over here, walk over there, and then walk back, get back on another ride, and probably head home.
Yeah, so my rope drop routine during that time, because this is the big thing that obviously doesn't exist now, was remember when fast passes didn't have a technical end time?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You could just hold it for the day.
You just hold it for the day. So what we would do is we'd rope drop and we'd go to space. But before we even got on space, we'd get a fast pass.
Yeah.
We'd get on space. We'd collect our fast pass. We would stash that and use that fast pass at like 9 o'clock at night. We'd do space right away. We'd then get on Star Tours, Buzz, Matterhorn, Roger Rabbit. We would then swipe for Roger Rabbit because it was on a different system. It was a weird situation where, for whatever reason, we would do that. So we'd ride Roger Rabbit, but then we would stash another fast pass. And then we'd get on the train, go all the way around, and usually between space, Star Tours, Buzz, Matterhorn, sometimes Alice, depending on the day, sometimes Small World, Roger Rabbit. We then take the train back around and we go over to DCA, because back then in the day, DCA didn't open until 10 o'clock. So then you would do the second rope drop at DCA and you'd go knock out the whole park in like 3 hours. And then you'd come back and do the whole West End. These were the good old days.
Now there are no longer here.
No.
You might get lucky here and there. I will say there's 1 week in August when everyone goes back to school or everyone's getting ready to go back, and I experienced that this year because like I'm always here now.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, nobody's here. I'm actually going to get on some rides.
Yeah, you can get lucky with that, but it's the good old days of stacking. I mean, we did some. I mean, I remember, and there's a reason that we're partially to blame on this. I mean, there was nights where we would have, between my sister and me, we'd get to 9 o'clock at night and we'd have 20 fast passes just ready to go.
Wow.
And like, this is why I'll never do a Incredicoaster marathon. We just did because we had them so stacked, we had like, I think 4 or 5 Incredicoaster fast passes. Just boom, boom, boom. After the 4th or 5th time, I literally wobbled off the ride. And I was like, oh, there's a reason.
It's a fun ride. Yeah. It is a fun ride. That ending does get you a little dizzy on that last turn.
It's like, I'm 22 and this is happening. All right, there's a reason it's got to be spaced out.
A question then, going to the Incredicoaster. Yeah. What theming do you like better? Do you like the classic California Screamin', or do you like Incredicoaster?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, everything I've been talking about has been about California Screaming. I
think of it all. Think of the new projection, the new lights and sounds that they have on Incredicoaster. Think of the music that plays on both of them.
I like the music. I like the music from the original. Obviously, the track is the same and everything like that. There's a weird moment in the new one that I really like. It's the cookie smell.
Cookie!
Yeah. I like
that is pretty nice.
I like that piece. They were both very good, but I think I like the new one. I think I like the fact that it's got the Pixar theme to it.
Gotcha.
So I probably lean more Incredicoaster than California Screaming on that one. Don't get me wrong, if they brought it back for a day, I'd be the first one in line for that.
For California Screaming, yeah. I am a big fan. I wish they would have kept California Screaming, and I think it's because when I grew up, when the first opened, I was like, I don't know. Let me do math real quick. 2001, 3. I was under 5.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give proper. I was under 5.
Okay.
And of course, all the news outlets are there. And if we can get Kimberly's question pinned up again, guys, we can answer her too. And I remember just being at home, like playing with my Hot Wheels on like the Hot Wheel mat, and seeing all the news feed. Because like I don't know about you, but I would wake up. I wouldn't do it myself, but I would wake up and watch the news.
Yeah.
It was like just like what my mom would have on the TV early in the morning, you know? And so I'm just sitting there watching the news, and they're like, "We're here at Disneyland Resort, and the new theme park has opened up." Blah blah blah. And I remember seeing the camera crew like showing the station, and then like showing the roller coaster, talking about the roller coaster, and like I immediately like from watching it, I immediately picked up like the track layout.
Yeah.
And I was like taking my Hot Wheels, doing the track layout with my Hot Wheels. Yeah. And I was like, "This is gonna be so fun! Like, I can't wait to get on it." And I remember we would come, and of course I wasn't tall enough, you know, but I was able to see all those colors, the different colored trains, which I think was great. You have like, then they're all electric colored too, like electric green and blue, purple, yellow, orange, and red. And if they were running perfectly, you'd see like one coming down, one through the loop, one taking off, one going back into the station.
It was really cool.
I miss those colors and the music. I have to pick.
I like the music. The music is one of the big things that I do miss. And that's one of the biggest points for me is the music.
I like the colors.
The one thing, just kind of, because it's the same area, the one thing I do miss out of that area, which I understand why they got rid of it, but I wish was still there, Maliboomer.
I was going to say, I want to adjust the chat a little bit because we have some questions coming through.
Go for it.
We have one Eddie Cadillo, one of our moderators. Much love to the moderators. He just had a statement. He said, "I missed the Maliboomer."
Yeah.
I saw George Lopez on there.
Really?
I was, again, too short to ride.
Yeah.
But I saw him on there. Well, my dad saw him. And he's like, "Hey, George! George!"
It's always fun seeing the celebrities in the park. I've run into a couple of them. It's been pretty fun.
We had Kimberly and Stephanie. They just, and I believe the chat helped them out, but I'm sure we can answer too. Cool. They just had a question of what Fast Pass was.
Yeah, Fast Pass. So basically, take the Genie Plus thing and make it better.
Make it free.
Make it free.
Make it part of your park admission.
Yeah, no, but basically, that's exactly what it was. It was Genie Plus, but free.
You would take your park ticket or your pass, and you would scan it into a machine, and it would print out a return time for you. And you can get one every 2 hours, or if your return time was like really soon, you can get one again.
Yeah, but you didn't have to pay for it, which that was the biggest kicker. And actually, it was every 2 hours, but as the night went on, is like if something like didn't have enough swipes, like they would literally make it that like.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was like I remember getting Fast Passes where you'd swipe it in, the thing would be 15 minutes later, and when you got off the ride, like where that 15 minutes, you'd be able to get another one.
Yeah. That's right. Like if it was either if the time was close enough and correct. You use it, or you have to wait 2 hours to get a new one.
But then the weird thing about it was free, but Disneyland, like there was 3 different systems. So you could have a Fast Pass for Disneyland, Toontown, and DCA all at the same time. Different systems.
That's crazy.
Which was great.
Now, I don't want to... Right, Raina? We have a question from Raina Tricks 13. Now, this might be a dating question or an aging question, but let's see. They want to know. They say, "Sean, did you ever ride the People Mover or went through the Sky Buckets?"
No. I'm not old enough for that.
There
not
it
old
is.
enough for... So, Sky Buckets, I don't know when they went away.
I think it was like 91.
I think the first time I ever came to the park was probably 94, 93. Probably 93. Would have been probably the first time I ever came to the parks. If I did ride them, I don't remember them. The only thing I remember off of that track that I did ride was Rocket Rods.
Rocket Rods. I've heard some things about that.
Was a very cool ride, but was always broken down. That's pretty much the sum of that story. It was very cool, very short, but it just couldn't stay up.
Just couldn't operate properly.
Yeah. That's the story of that one.
Kind of like Indiana Jones. It's always down.
Yes.
I'm sure if we check the app right now, it might be down. It's like a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Oh, and Eddie says Sky Buckets closed November 9th, 1994.
Yes, I just missed it. Yeah.
And Bodie, you've been on both of them. I wish I could have experienced those.
Yeah, I wish that we had a time machine where we could I know it's not possible, but I wish we could bring back certain rides just to experience them for a day. one of the ones that's high on my bucket list.
Okay, because I was going to ask you. What if you could bring back one attraction?
There'll be one just because I would love to stream it. Oh my god, I always forget the name of the ride. It's the ride that took Monsters Inc. spot.
Oh, Superstar Limo.
Yeah, it's just one day. Just bring it back.
Do you know the story about attraction?
Horrible, yeah.
It's a horrible backstory.
Horrible. I don't know how that got cleared. Like, it should never have been cleared. Cleared. And it's just, you look at it and just like, how did that go through everyone just being, we're good. Someone had to be at some point be like, this is a bad idea.
This is a bad idea, guys.
But yeah, one day, I wish they could just bring that back. There's been a lot.
Superstar Limo.
Just to see how bad.
Just to see how bad it was.
That one was rough. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but that one always is at the top of my head.
People want to know the story behind that attraction and why it ceased to exist. There's a lot of factors.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. One, it was. I mean, it had a very bad concept, very bad story. Long story short, you get picked up. You're like a new star or something.
You're the star.
Yeah, and you have this agent come on the screen that is totally obnoxious, like a really bad narrator. But the whole time you're driving through Hollywood and speeding and being chased by paparazzi and all this stuff. And really weird, and then the animatronics are really bad.
Yeah.
Popping up all over the place, just very odd.
Very obscure celebrities too.
But here's the kicker, and this is why this thing should never have been created at all. It came in the creation of the ride was right around the time that Princess Diana died by this exact thing.
Wasn't long.
It was like, what are we doing?
It was what?
6 months after? It was something
crazy.
It was crazy like that. I was like,
the concept of it is insane.
Yeah, it was like everyone wrote it and it was like, whoa, this is wasn't a good outcome in real life. Yeah, so that was the backing of that. And that thing did not last long. A year?
I think max out.
Yeah, it was not long.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire lasted longer than that.
I think you're right. Because Monsters Inc. opened in 2004. The park was only 3 years old, so yeah, probably a year.
It's still here today. That's crazy.
That's a good ride. I like that ride.
It's pretty decent. It's a nice sit down.
Yeah.
I don't understand the 45-minute wait for it.
Yeah, I think it's more because there's just not a lot of dark rides over there.
That's true.
If you had a couple more dark rides, they would kind of. But I don't understand why that is always a longer wait than Little Mermaid.
I think it's because of two things. Well, I think they had a resurgence in Monsters Inc. in the past, I don't know what you want to say, 8-10 years.
With Monster University.
Yeah, Monster University
and
then the TV show.
Yeah.
But also, the Little Mermaid uses the Omnimover system, which is highly efficient.
It moves quicker. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it doesn't stop moving. Yeah. You just keep, come on in.
Love that system.
It's great. Especially when you stops and you're backwards on a downslope.
It's great.
Oh, those are golden moments on a ride.
Nice and relaxing. Yeah. Good times. Just those little moments.
I'll be riding a Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And you know the part when you leave the dining room into the graveyard
it's the
and
best,
you go backwards down?
It's the best 5 seconds at any ride.
Best 5 seconds. And I'm always like, please, please stop us here. Please stop.
Yeah. 100%. What ride would you want to bring back?
I think just because, well, one thing about me ever since I was a kid is when I see a roller coaster or something, you could use Matterhorn for an example. When you see the car and then it disappears into the mountain.
Yeah.
And it's what's going on in the mountain? I really wanted what's going on in there, you know?
Yeah.
I think it would be the People Mover.
Yeah.
Because you see it go through the buildings up here, just out here. I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but the People Mover track, it goes through the buildings and the shops. And I've been on the one in Florida.
Yeah.
But the one in Florida doesn't have the section that goes over Autopia.
No, it doesn't.
I'm so curious as to what that track layout is.
Yeah.
Going over Autopia.
Yeah.
It's because it's out there. You drive Autopia and you just keep going under it.
Yeah. I wish they had the people mover out here. It'd be nice. It's a great one in Florida. It'd be great here.
Oh, it's great.
Great.
Just sit on it. People mover marathon. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Let's do it.
That's an easy one.
Bodie.
compared to the It's a Small World marathon getting thrown around. 16 hours.
So, well, first off, we have Bodie in the house, and he's saying it was cool going through the buildings on the People Mover. Yeah. And then we have Raina Trick saying People Mover went through the Star Tours queue as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can kind of still see.
Oh really?
Yeah, you can see the glass a little bit. It would be in the first room. It's like above, you know, where like the big ship.
Yeah,
is?
It's like you're in an airport terminal.
Yeah, there's like black tilting that kind of they're kind of like this towards you.
Okay.
It's that glass. It's kind of that would be the.
I'll take a look next time I'm there. It's where C-3PO is. Okay, Raina.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check that out next time I go in there. Like I said, due to streaming, we don't really go in there. But
yeah.
I would definitely bring back the People Mover.
I'd bring back the People Mover. I mean, it's a track that's doing nothing. It's an easy one.
So you're talking about Small World Marathon.
Small World. Yeah.
What's your game plan on that?
I don't know. That one's a mental one. I think that's one of those ones I got to be as mentally strong going into that one.
Gotcha.
I've done 3-hour Splash Mountain marathons. That's pretty doable. That one sounds tough, but that was pretty doable. I've done 3-hour Grizzly. That was tough.
I think the max I did was like 8 times, so maybe an hour 10.
I think if I remember right, I'd have to look back on it, but I think
14 in a day or in a row?
In a row.
So I have a friend over on YT.
Yeah.
Who just recently, like I want to say, within the past month, it was like the day or two before Fantasmic Return.
Okay.
They did it. I think they did like 60 something times. They were in the high 60s. He went from rope drop to close.
Oh.
And he had to take a break for battery and for ride closure.
Okay.
So I think I can squeeze 70.
Yeah. I'll tell you from my experience of 14.
9 hours.
I got off the ride, and it was basically equivalent to jumping out of a swimming pool. I drove home right after it, and this is when I lived locally. I would say from the moment I got off to me getting to my front door was probably about maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I was still dripping.
Jeez.
That's how wet I was. Like, it was... Granted, I did it with a bunch of friends, so it was 8 people in the boat the whole time. So, like, literally you were getting... If you do one person, like a solo the whole day, you're going to be okay, because there's been moments in solo I don't get hit at all.
Interesting.
But because of the weight, when you have 8 people in there...
You're going to get splashed.
It's like the same thing with Splash Mountain. Tiana's will be as well. If you go solo on the log, it's not going to be bad. But if you throw on there, it's going to be a bigger science.
If I'm in the front, if you guys saw my thrift video, I weighed in at a whopping nearly 220.
Okay.
And I'm working on it. I'm working on it, guys. So throw me up in the front.
The other marathon I wanted to do, and really sad that I missed the opportunity and I have to wait until it comes back, is Winnie the Pooh. One-day record, I was told by a few CMs last year, 118 in a day.
118 times in a day?
Yeah, and that I want to go for.
So one thing that I'm trying to do, and now this is more of a physical one than mental, like for Small World you said it's mental.
Yeah, that's mental.
I really want to do marathon on Matterhorn. I tried last week, about a week ago. I made it through 8.
That's impressive.
Using single rider.
Impressive.
And I had back pain at the end of the day.
I was about to say, that's a mental one.
It still kind of hurts down here.
That's a physical one because you're going to get thrown around and your back is going to not feel so good.
No, I still feel kind of like little tweaks back here. And that was only 8 times. That was like an hour. We spent like 2 hours, including like in the line and stuff.
Yeah. I know it's tough on this one, but what I've learned with Matterhorn, I'm sure you've learned this too, is the closer you get to the front, the less violent it is.
Yes, or if you're in the middle 2 seats. So if you're in seat 3 or 4,
yeah,
it's pretty smooth sailing.
You're pretty good. Yeah, it's like 4 onward, if you're in row 6, and especially row 6 on the left side, you're
getting whipped around.
It's bad. Yeah. But you get the front row.
And being single rider, usually row 6.
Yeah, it's true.
We did like row 6 left side like 3 times in a row. I was like, come on, dude.
It's not. I mean, there's been moments on Matterhorn, even on stream, where I've been in row 6 left, and I go down that one spot, which you probably know, and a lot of people under the bridge, and I literally had the thing, and I literally hear my back just pop, and I'm like, oh, my back just cracked. I'm like, I obviously I can't say anything. I'm just like, yeah, we're good.
Let's go again, guys.
Let's go again. Yeah, that's happened. It's like, oh, that's happened a couple of times. Like, oh, yeah, we're not gonna do Matterhorn again today. We might take a couple days off from this one.
Take a little break, guys.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And then another one I want to do is more endurance, not physically, but maybe slightly physically. I want to see how many times I can, or how long I can stay on the train.
The train?
The train.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
No leaving. You cannot step off the train. Once you step off the train, you're done.
That would be a cool one because you could probably. I mean, the train one loop is 30 minutes.
About depending if they fill up and stuff.
Correct. So, yeah, that's actually pretty doable one to do. See how long you can sit
until nature calls.
Exactly.
That's the hard part.
The other thing that's tricky about that one too is I would say pick a cooler day to do it on because there are angles where you stop and that sun just beats at you.
It definitely have to be. I think the plan would be it's got to be we call it the hamburger train. You know how all the trains go long ways, like hot dog seating, hot dog bun, and hamburger bun. Yeah. The long way facing inward. There's the one train, usually pulled by Fred Gurley. Yeah. That faces forward. It'd have to be probably on that train.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Hide in the back. It makes sense.
Stay away from the sun. Slide over when you need to. Let's go this way, go that way.
Yeah. So many different challenges, so many different things. I mean, that's the cool thing about Disneyland is there's a lot of different things that you can do here.
That's
it's
true.
Never ending. And then, I mean, we haven't even talked about World, but World has a whole...
Oh, it's a whole world.
Whole world.
It's a whole world out there.
I mean, I was lucky enough to go out there in September, and I mean, there's 30 hotels.
It's crazy.
I mean,
and you could spend all day in one hotel.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to do. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, we were there for 5 days, and it was like we did each park. I mean, I was very happy with everything that we got done, but I left saying, wow, I could have been here 2 months and not gotten everything done.
Yeah. Like, I could literally, that'd be a dream come true, riding the monorail system all day over there. I'll intentionally wait for the lime green, because green's one of my favorite colors. Yeah. So I'll just wait for the lime green one to pull in, and it's like, all right.
Do it, yeah.
See you guys tomorrow. Yeah. I'll just keep riding it. That's always fun. Maybe make a transfer to the Epcot one.
I love Epcot. Epcot's probably my favorite park.
Yeah. So. I think as you get older, you come to appreciate Epcot more.
Yeah. Epcot is, and this goes back to the details here, but also there. One of the things I really appreciated at Epcot was they have obviously the World Showcase, but every single person that works within that country was born in that country or from that country. So they know the native language, they know all the answers, which I really thought was really cool.
It's really cool of them. Even like the college program students there come from their own country and are put in their home.
Yeah, it makes it just even that more immersive.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. You ever go to the German Pavilion? Mm-hmm. Enjoy some of the buffet they have there with the music. I love that band that plays there. Yeah. They've apparently been there for like, I think 15, 20 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The same dudes.
That's so cool.
It's really cool. They put on a good show too. It's good stuff. But I think you got to go. Is that right?
How's our chat doing?
I don't know. How's the chat doing? But how are you doing?
Good. I mean, if you guys want to go right ahead.
No, I'm fine sitting right here. I don't know what you have planned today. I'm just showing. I want to keep it, in your time because I know you're not always down here now.
I might have to go make a couple more things of Actually, I probably should go make some content things before the sun goes down.
Make some content. So
I got to go jump over to DCA, actually.
this was a nice conversation with Ducks of the Caribbean right here, guys. But as we want to say, if you want to see him back in the parks, if you want to see us here back in the parks, support your favorite streamer. Consider subscribing to the channels. If you don't know, you have the star here. Next time he's live, head in there. Star, maybe send him a gift. Send him a duck.
Yeah.
I like sending the ducks to you.
It's fun. Appreciate it.
But because it's true, as I like to say, this stream is brought to you by duckies like you. Bodie, thank you. Thank you for the duck, Bodie. Thank you, Bodie. Bodie! Quack, quack, Bodie. These streams are brought to you by duckies like you guys. So yeah, be sure to support your favorite streamer. Double tap, hit the follows, share, send a rose if you can. Even possibly subscribe to your favorite streamer, guys.
And I appreciate you letting me come on. I hope I was.
Oh, dude, it was a pleasure. I was surprised.
I hope I was entertaining enough for everyone.
Oh, dude, I feel like we can go on for hours.
I hope the chat enjoyed it. So.
Hopefully, we can have you back with us in the future.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. I'm thinking about creating a podcast of my own. So
there it is.
We'll bring you on.
Maybe we could team up.
We'll do a fun little collab with it. So
that'll be fun.
But I'll keep you in the loop. And yeah, where are you off to? What are you doing?
I really don't know anymore. This was pretty much my only thing for the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know you have each day. Like I know you have like the transportation Tuesdays.
Yeah.
What's your Mondays usually?
We usually do merch Monday.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll look at merch or not.
Okay.
Maybe I'll hop into the Emporium. Let me check the battery. Yeah, 35%. What time is it?
Not too bad. 6 o'clock?
6:15.
20.
Maybe I'll stick around for like an hour. Let traffic die down.
It is a little busy. We're getting those summer crowds now.
Summer crowds. People also heading home too.
Yeah.
From work.
Rise hit 100 minutes today.
100 minutes?
100 minutes.
What was it? There was like the other last 2 weeks, there was a ride that was like in like, oh, I saw Thunder Mountain at like 150.
What?
Yeah. It was like 3 weeks ago. Because I was on the Mark Twain. I was like, yeah, we're not doing Thunder Mountain, guys. 155
How did that
minutes.
line even go? Like, where did the 150 minutes go? Like,
I don't know. It was probably like, because they probably run it like half Lightning Lane, the other half standby.
Yeah, Lightning Lane must have gotten super back. Oh, that's... Yeah,
It's pretty insane.
There's nothing good to say about that.
Oh my gosh, Eddie Cadillo says Rise is 130 minutes.
Ooh, I'm not going on that. That's a lot. Actually, I got the app in front of me.
He's got the app.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see what the worst are. That's got to be the worst. Radiator Springs Racers is probably pretty heavy.
We want to say again, thank you guys for tuning in and enjoying the conversation. We have Ducks of the Caribbean here. He can be found on TikTok and YT as well. Same name.
Same name
on all
YouTube,
platforms.
IG,
TikTok.
Yeah, all of the above. DCA is.
Oh, we got a question though from Bodie real quick. Have you or I ever done a behind the scenes tour or maybe even a guided tour?
I actually haven't.
Me neither.
Yeah, I've never done it. I got really close in 2022, but then it fell apart.
Gotcha.
So it never happened. Yeah, I've never done it.
Maybe one day we'll be on a tour together.
It's not cheap. I do know that.
I know they have the railroad tour right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's like 170 a day, 165, 170 per person.
Interesting. Okay.
But you get to ride the Lily Bell.
I was about to say, have you ever been on the Lily Bell? Okay.
No, sir. As I say, when it comes to a lot of this kind of stuff, if it's supposed to happen, it'll happen when it's supposed to.
Okay.
But thank you for your time, my friend.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for letting me crash for a little bit.
No, dude. Like I said, this was the plan for the day. Once you said I was like, oh boy.
Come on in.
I was like, oh, this is amazing. I'm excited.
I'll de-mic myself and.
All right, man. And I'll just take the mic off now because really I brought it in case like it did get a little loud and crowded out there. I rarely use these things. I appreciate the lemonade too. If you want something for your trip over to DCA, just speak now. Or,
I appreciate it.
Or as we say, quack now or forever hold your peace. Let's put these. Everyone's wishing You a great time, my friend. They're saying goodbye. If you want to tune into the chat real quick, we can pin you up to the top for anyone who may not know who you are. I'm sure a majority of the people here know of the great ducks of the Caribbean. And there he is. Eddie, yeah, he had the pickle lemonade. He said it was a 7.6. 7.6. 7.6. And there he is. I'm going to pin him up to the top. Ba-boom. And that's the end of our, I guess, our first official podcast episode. We had unofficial ones, but those, we're learning here. Okay, question before you go.
Yeah.
If I were to do another one in the future with you or with anyone, and I do it like this. Now, I know the TikTok will show it vertically.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be fine, it would work to upload elsewhere if I rotate the video? Or crop it to be horizontal?
Sorry, rephrase that. Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
You know how you have the replays on TikTok?
Yeah.
And every replay, of course, because you're filming vertically, it's formatted like this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure it'll be formatted vertically, and it's sideways. So right now, I'm sure if you're holding your phone, as your phone usually is held, you have to turn your head. I'm pretty sure the replay will come through like that.
Yeah, it'll come through like that, but if you use CapCut.
So, yeah.
So
Just rotate it. That's what I was thinking. But.
Yeah, you'll be fine because you just rotate it. So yeah, if you film it like that, it actually gives you more options in editing because obviously this is good. This is YouTube. This is YouTube format.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to go from horizontal to vertical than vertical to horizontal. Because actually when you film this way, you're kind of stuck.
You're kind of stuck there because you don't have anything else to throw in the video.
You're kind of stuck with it. I mean, you could blur lines in on the side, but that doesn't look great. So I would say
definitely. I'll try that in the future.
Go YouTube, test it out. I always try to test out stuff on stuff that I don't really care about and see how it goes. Because then if it doesn't work, so that when you do go into something, there's no question marks.
Sounds good. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure meeting you too.
I feel like I could just chat with you for hours, but I don't want to waste your time or at least spend the time.
We'll do this again.
There it is. Stay tuned on the channel. Hit the follow if you haven't, so you don't miss our next interview with Ducks of the Caribbean. How long have we been chatting now?
No, it's a while.
At least an hour and a half, going on maybe 2, if I dare.
Things always fun.
I'm gonna run, but
go take care of yourself. Have some fun, dude.
It was great meeting you.
It's nice to meet you, man. Appreciate it. I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I got the trash. Team on Cloud.
Oh, I love these shoes. They're so good. I always shout these things out when
On Cloud, if you're listening, call us. Even one.
I'll see you later, okay? Have a good day.
Good to see you.